What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the JERRY1 Podcast. This is episode number 23 of the JERRY1 Podcast, and I'm your host, Nick Felice. And it's a big week for JERRY1 overall. It's a huge month. March is a busy month for JERRY1. So let's just get right into it, I guess. What are we talking about in episode 23? Who's our guest? You're probably wondering. You probably know because you saw the title of the episode. But we're talking about ESPN's Tournament Challenge. JERRY1 2021 is the group. It's going to be a good one. Matt, my brother, is the defending champ. So if there's still time to sign up, this is being recorded on Monday, March 15th, 2021. You're watching this on YouTube on March 16th, Tuesday, March 16th, 2021. There's still time to sign up. Matt's the defending champ. There's going to be prizes for first, second, and third this year. Still a $10 entry. It's going to be good. We're going to talk about that at the start of the show today. And then our guest will come on, and it is my brother Matt making his debut on the podcast. He's a defending champ. We're going to talk to him about that. We're going to talk to him about if his fantasy hockey team getting into the playoffs for the first time. We're going to talk to him how his fantasy basketball team's going to do this year as he just clinched a playoff berth over there. So, Tournament Challenge. Matt's going to come on the show, and then I'm going to talk to you about the final weeks of the regular season in fantasy hockey and in fantasy basketball. So we got a big show on hand. Let's dive right into it. It's going to be a good one. ESPN Tournament Challenge. Hit me up on any of the social medias if you want to play. It's going to be good. But episode 23 of the JERRY1 Podcast is starting right now, and it's going to be a good one. That's on the show. Let's get to it. Matt's going to come on in a second. Well, like I said in the intro, let's talk about this ESPN Tournament Challenge. Let's throw up the 2019 results. It is 2019 because that is the last and only time we've done this. So Matt won it. He beat out his college friends, Rob Armstrong, David Ferris, Jeremy's friend Brian Joseph, and my friend from college, Zach Level, also gave a nice run. Those five were legit. Yeah, Brian Joseph's gonna be back. Ferris, Rob, Matt, all back. Sadly, Level is not coming back, but it's gonna be good. We're getting all these JERRY1 Fantasy League guys in it. As you see over there, some not notables, but that's all of them. All the guys that were in it last year, or 2 years ago, the last time we did it. But here's how it's gonna work. I'll start with that. How's this gonna work? The $10 entry, 70% of the pot goes to first, 20% of the pot goes to second, and 10% of the pot goes to third. Don't know how many people we're gonna have yet until the brackets lock on Friday. Because today's Monday. But the brackets were released last night, Sunday, and at 8 o'clock on the East Coast. You could have started filling out your bracket. You can do it right now. You can do it until I think noon on Friday, whenever the brackets lock. I don't think the dates are out yet for the games, but when the brackets lock on Fridays, that's when they lock. And it's $10 entry, like I said. 70% to first, so that's going to be a huge lot of money. That could be more money than any of the fantasy leagues winnings could be. I don't know how many people we're going to get right now on this Monday at 12:58 in the afternoon. We're up to, I believe, 39 total people have committed. We had 36 last time we did it, so that's already better. And and that was for 360, all of it, and that's more than you see in not the football league, but you'll see it in the basketball and baseball league and hockey league. But we'll be intrigued to see how much. So you won't know how much you can win until Friday when they lock. When I figure it all out, me and my good friend Jerry1 guy, Jeremy Frenberg, are both running this. We're trying to get as many people as we want, and anybody is welcome. It's gonna be fun. I enjoy it. I love March Madness. Those 2 days of the first rounds are my favorite. I always look forward to the playing round. There's only one day for that this year. That starts on Thursday. But, we're going to talk in Matt's conversation about it a little bit. His strategy going in, how far Syracuse is going to go. Who's the sleeper? Is Georgetown the sleeper? We'll see. We'll talk about that. It's going to be a good conversation. But that's really all I can say right now. Next time we do a podcast, hopefully next week. But next time we do a podcast, I am going to break down what has happened so far in the tournament challenge and see who's the favorite and who's looking like they're going to come out on top of this tournament. So it's only 3 weeks long, $10 entry. We'll see how it comes out. JERRY1 2021 group is going to be lit. But that's it for that. Now it's come to that point of the show where it's our conversation with Matt. Here is Matt making his debut on the podcast right now. Today's guest is on the podcast for the first time. He is one of the JERRY1 legends. He is in his 22nd and 23rd season over in fantasy hockey and basketball. He's the only guy, including me, we're the only 2 people to play in every one of JERRY1 leagues and seasons. He's a 3-time JERRY1 champion. That's the second most behind Paul. 2-time football champion, 2013 and 2018, and won the lone season of college basketball. My brother, Matt Felice. Matt, how's it going?
It's going good, Nick. I'm excited to be on here. It's been a while. A lot of episodes I haven't been on yet.
Yeah, and where are you coming from right now?
I'm coming down the hallway in the opposite room, but I am also in Seneca Falls, New York.
There we go. Nice. How does that feel when I say you're a JERRY1 legend? What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I it's a lot of respect. I feel like if there's a Mount Rushmore of JERRY1, my head is on there. It's gonna be like me, Paul. I could see Paul, put his Paul on there. For some reason, they'll put freaking Andrew on there, even though he hasn't really done anything. But he's been alive for long, and then Justin will be on it because he's original member, and he's just that one president that they just don't understand why he's on it, but he's there.
All right. I respect that, but so basketball and hockey's going on. You think we'd be talking about that first, but it was a good week to get you on because this is JERRY1's ESPN Tournament Challenge Bracket Week. And you've done this one season back in 2019, 2 years ago. And you were the one that won it all that year when it was only a first place prize. This year it's first, second, and third. Well, 2 years ago when you won it all, picking Virginia, you beat a couple of your college guys, Rob, David Ferris, Sam Shields even tied for sixth that year. What did you 2 years ago? Did you ever think you would win a bracket challenge?
Well, no. I mean, it's a weird thing because there's so many people in it. But I thought going in, I had a good bracket. When I noticed that like only Virginia was picked by like few people, I was thinking, well,
it was just you and Rob.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't want to say it was just us because I know, but I know there wasn't a lot, and they were the number one overall seed. Yeah, I know they lost a 16 seed, but I just felt like they were going to have a redemption season. They had the whole team back, but they're tough to win. They're a hard pool. There's a lot of people. You got to get lucky. But I've done it before. I won it twice in a row back in the day with Florida when they were back-to-back. That whatever, 2006, 2007. That was cool. That's the last time I've won was that. But, I'm up there. I've won like a third place maybe before recently, but it was cool.
And one team that wasn't there is your team, Syracuse Orange. You did not pick them to win it all. Is when it's like a bracket challenge like this, you go with your head over your heart?
Yes, you have to. I mean, I'll probably I always have like a Syracuse bracket too, where I'll have them going all the way or something just in case. But, yeah, no, in bracket pools, you have to go like Syracuse. It was awesome the year they were 10 seed and did it, but you have to like they're 11 seed. You can't assume they're going to the Final Four is what I'm saying. But yeah, you got to go your head. You have to go one seeds, I mean, you can't. They maybe don't win. I have the most luck picking other seeds that aren't one, but you got to gamble because you're not. If you pick a one, you could win, but you're going to be up with a bunch of other people. So you got to pick you got to take a chance, basically. And that's what I've did. Every time I've won, I've done that. So
yeah, and I'm not. It's still in the middle of bracket week. People are still trying to figure out their brackets, but I'm not asking for any of your strategies here. But how far is this Syracuse team going to go? How far are you liking them? San Diego State first round?
yeah, I'm not giving away any secrets. I'll talk about the bracket, but I'm not going to let anyone know what I'm doing. That is not happening. I know people are watching like Paul, who's going to, hey, you know what? Never mind. Paul's just going to go Big E, so he's not even going to listen to what I say. But you got people out there like Justin Kiefer who might want to take some ideas away about who the favorites are, who my sleepers are. But Syracuse, they've been playing better the last few weeks, and if their offense plays like it's been, they're gonna be tough out. That zone in the tournament, teams don't get to see it very often all year, so it's an adjustment. But
now when you're filling out a bracket, do you ever see you make it to the Sweet 16 and you've just gone too much chalk? You just go back and make some mistakes, or you replace some teams? What's the deal if you go too much chalk?
if you're doing too much chalk, you're not winning because it never happens that way. But I don't go. See, how I usually do it is I'll do matchups that I'm confident is going to happen, or at least I think so. Obviously, I don't know if it's going to happen, but then you can't backtrack. You backtrack, you're gonna hate yourself when you get it wrong, and you gotta go with your first instincts and fill it out the best you can. It's at the end of the day, it's really there's strategy, but there's also not. You can't be stupid and pick 16 seeds to go to the end. It won't happen. That's not gonna happen. But I don't know. It's like a risky thing. You got to balance between picking chalk or not picking chalk kind of deal.
So we're recording this on Monday. We got about 40 people committed right now. Me and Jeremy Fradenberg have been setting up some names. What are you shooting for if we get around 60, 80 people? Would that be cool?
So I reached out to my fantasy group. They're getting a bracket pool. My one league, not the Jerry one, the North Country one, and I might be able to get maybe a bunch of people from that. I told them we're trying to get 100 people, so I think 100 is a goal because I would like to see this first place prize be like $700. That's 70%, right? There's an 80.
70%. Yeah.
Is it 7? Yeah. So I would like to see like the winner get 700. I think that'd be cool. Everyone puts in $10.
That would be over fantasy football money winnings in 3 weeks. That would be.
I think it's. You said we have how many?
40 committed. 27.
Yeah, we can get 70. I'm confident we can get 70. We got to get people to reach out to their friends. Like people in our fantasy league need to talk to anybody. Like I don't even care if they're 50 years old. Just get people in this thing.
And with the tournament start on Friday, we got an extra day to try to get people this week too. So
yeah, no, I think we can get 70. I think that's definitely a good goal. Be cool.
What do you think? What do you think a lot of these people in this bracket are going to do? You think when the brackets get locked on Friday, do you think we're going to see a lot of Gonzagas?
I was thinking about it. I think they will be the most, yes, but I don't think it's going to be as high as you think. I feel like everyone's going to be thinking that mindset. Gonzaga's never done it. They're undefeated. It's tough to do. I'm going to go 70% Gonzaga. That's what I'm going with. 70%. Yeah.
Well, in 2019, I think it was you and Rob picked Virginia. There was like a Michigan State. Then Jeremy's obviously Michigan pick, which he'll probably pick Michigan again. Yep. But and then it was like the rest of them were Duke and North Carolina's, and they just let everyone down.
Yes, that's the only part I hate is that Duke. I'm so happy Duke's not in it, but I hate also because there's all those suckers that are going to pick Duke to go all the way, and that option's not a thing anymore. Kentucky's not a thing; they're not in it. So, if I had to guess, Gonzaga will be the number one. I think a lot of people, for some reason, are going to pick Alabama. I think Illinois, Alabama, maybe not Illinois as much because of the bracket they're in, but I got a hunch Alabama is going to have a decent amount of people. I don't know why, but
will we have one person? I'm not saying it could be me. Will we have one person who picks Rick Pitino and Iona over Alabama?
Aren't you doing it?
Yeah, I am. Not saying I'm not saying if I'm going to pick that one, but do you think we'll see one person do it?
Well, if you don't do it, I think you might do it. But I think yes, we will see one person. I mean, I'm going to go 2 because you're probably doing it. I'm going to go 2 people pick it. Rick Pitino's team. It will not be me. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me to do it. So.
Well, we will see what Syracuse does. But one team we do know about not usually makes brackets is your fantasy hockey team. 4 years now you've been in this hockey league. 4 years. We were in the last week of the regular season. Did you know that out of all the active franchises in JERRY1, there's only 6 active franchises that have never made the playoffs, and your hockey team is one of them, and it's the last one in hockey. You had a chance because me and Q lost last week. You had a chance to get to the playoffs for the first time, but it just wasn't the week yet. You lost to Josh on Sunday. You blew it. Nathan McKinnon's been kind of a disappointment. But this team is you still got a good team here. What are your thoughts on this hockey team fighting for this last playoff spot?
So yeah, Nate McKinnon has been hurt a lot. I've had a full help him all year. Team isn't bad. I mean, they score. My goalies are not irrelevant. They don't do shit. But whose goalie does this podcast? It needs a change.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it's a good. My team is, they're gonna do their thing. I don't have the best luck, especially when it comes to hockey, and I play Justin Kiefer this week, so I'm probably gonna lose again. But I've also beaten Justin Kiefer, so I literally am 3-0 versus Nate and Justin Kiefer. So for some reason, my team.
That's what I was just.
They show up. They're just. What's that?
That's what I was just about to say. Is that You had beaten Nate twice, and you beat Justin Kiefer. And you have quality wins. If this was March Madness, I think you'd be in with the quality wins that you have.
100%. The selection committee is going to look at my squad and be like, "Wow, quality wins." To be honest, in the hockey league,
what's that?
There's not really a bad loss other than Jack. Really, that's a bad loss if you lose to Jack.
That's a terrible loss. A Jack team that has not set his lineup, has paid his entry fee, but has not set his lineup the entire season. But the awkward part about this is I'm the team that could catch you because I have the head-to-head over you, and I play Josh this week while you play Justin Kiefer, and all it takes is for me to win, and I can knock you out of the playoffs with you losing. But this team, do you think this team could get to the playoffs? What would that mean to finally get to the playoffs after 4 years? And do you think your team can make a run if you do get in?
Oh, 100% can make a run. We've proven it. We can beat the best of the best. But what will it mean for me? It's opponents. I guess not really top priority. But if it happens, it happens.
Does it
disrespect to people that like the hockey league, but the rules need to change.
Yes, absolutely. Does it bother you that people just look at you as a football guy? You've won 2 football championships, which is the top of JERRY1. Does it bother you that it's like hockey never, made the playoffs? Baseball, you never really made a run. Basketball, you come close. But does it bother you that you're looked at as just a football guy?
No, it doesn't bother me because I'm really good at football and people know it. So they know my place. And basketball, I want to defend it. I am a good basketball owner. I've been to the championship twice now. I have been unlucky and lost a few times, but my teams have always been good. And baseball, I've had good teams. I just haven't made that playoff run. Hockey is whatever. I disagree. But how do I feel? I mean, it's whatever. People got their own opinions. They want to talk some smack.
Now let's talk about this basketball team. You made the playoffs. First time since you lost to me while we were in Vegas in the finals a couple years ago. You're in. You deserve it. I mean, there was nervous a little bit there for a couple weeks that you might have missed. There's like a 90% chance, 99% chance that you'll play Sam in the first round, which is, hey, it's not Paul and it's not one of the other 3 at the top of the league. So you gotta like that. And if your rival's Sam, so you're looking forward to that. I mean, what's your thoughts on this basketball team making it?
Oh, this basketball team is good. It doesn't get the credit. I actually kind of like that I'm under the radar. My team is like, I'm 3rd in scoring, and I'm right there with the other 2. I'm not that far behind. That trade I had the 3-team trade that we made in the league, first ever, really made my team deep. Like, I've got good guards now. I'm loaded at centers, forwards, guards. Like Zion, I was really loaded at forwards, and I had Zion. But now I'm not as loaded, but I'm still, like, the whole team now is deep. Like, Vukovic has been killing it. LeBron's obviously LeBron. The best part about LeBron is he doesn't sit like these other guys. So he plays all the time. Julius Randle has been unbelievable for me in fantasy. He's been my steal, and that's the reason I kept him instead of also he's a Nick. But instead of Zion, I traded him. But they're like Randall has been, and then Bear's been playing better lately. Bear's been helping me out a lot. Trae Young does his job. I'm a little get pissed at him once in a while, but does his thing. And so I was looking at the standings. So Paul can't. I can play Paul. I know Sam. Sam had like beaten him, didn't he?
Sam had beaten Paul, so the only way that you could potentially play Paul is you can't. I mean, he would have to catch you in points. Like he's just like he can't really go anywhere. He's stuck at that. He's like stuck at that 6th seed spot right now, and yeah, he's just waiting if he can move on and make the playoffs over Justin and If he can make the playoffs over Justin, and then he's just waiting for whatever one of those three teams of the top of the league that he's probably gonna have to play in the first round. Which, I was just actually talking about this earlier in the podcast. Actually, I'll talk about it later in the podcast, but I'll just bring it up now. But Larry, just think about Larry. Larry is the number 1 seed right now. He's playing a tough game against Blake. He could lose that game and fall all the way to the 3 seed and have to play in the first round against a tough Paul team who's been red hot, and then he would have to win 3 straight games. So that could be. But
I want to see Kyle versus Paul. I really want to see that matchup. I think that'd be interesting for sure.
The only problem with that, Kyle versus Paul is very slim unless I can come step up to the plate, because Blake and Larry play each other this week, and I play Kyle. So Kyle's
also,
they all control their destiny to get the bye. But if I beat Kyle, then Larry and Blake will both get it.
So you really need to step up this week then. You were almost 2,000 points behind him. That's an upset.
It's 0-0. It's 0-0 on this Monday night.
Yep. Do you pick up anybody yet?
No, I have not today. I will see how the first day goes. But
I just say I will tell the league. You can take me lightly if you want, but this team can ball. We can beat anyone. I like the playoff format. I think it's going to be huge for my team with the only 7 pickups allowed, I think the rule is. So these people who like Larry and Blake who love to pick up people all the time, every single day, pick up someone. Can't do it for 2 weeks in a row. You got to be more strategic, and I'm really good at it. I don't need to use pickups all the time. I'll use them when I need them. So I think that's an advantage for my team going forward. I really do.
Yeah. Are you nervous about having to fight out for 6 straight weeks to win a championship, 3 rounds? That's going to be
what I will say, though, our league is so deep. Like, these playoffs, so let's say Paul gets in. No offense to Kurt or Justin Hill or Justin Keeper's teams. But if Paul gets in as that 6 seed, those 6 teams are going to battle. They're going to be duking it out for that championship. It's going to be insane. I don't have a clue who's going to win, to be honest. It's going to be up for the air. It could be anyone. No offense to Sam. He's probably the least likely to win out of those 6, but he can win. I mean, I'm not ruling him out. But, it's going to be crazy.
And are you looking forward to this matchup that potentially 99% chance it's going to be you versus Sam in the 4-5 game? It's been like that for a few weeks now. We've been waiting for it. Is this what you want? This is who you want. Especially, you just said he's probably one of the easier teams.
Oh, 100% I want Sam Shields in the first round. It's not even a question. If I had to choose, I'm not saying Paul's not beatable, but I think Sam's a little banged up. I think his guys are inconsistent. I just think I'll beat him. I think my team is better in a 2-week format than his team in a 2-week format. Unless something happens, I lose people from injuries. But
one guy I'll bring up is you brought him up actually. Did you know Nikola Vukovic is 3rd in scoring in fantasy this Monday morning?
3rd overall?
Holy shit. Overall.
Yeah,
only behind Paul's Jokic and Blake's Giannis. Greek freak.
Wow. I didn't know he's 3rd.
3rd overall.
But Vukovic has been a monster. The guy literally has had a 50-point. I'm looking at his last, he gets 35 every night. Like, the guy's insane.
Now, how's it been playing with COVID? Tough?
What's up, COVID?
Yeah, the COVID seasons. How's it been playing?
The COVID seasons. I had Drew Holiday out there for a while. That's kind of why I made a Trae Young move too. It's annoying, but sounds like good things are happening. People are going to start getting the vaccination, so it sounds like the players. I don't know if COVID is going to be a huge issue for the NBA playoffs. I'll say, but our fantasy league is right at it starts next week, right? The playoffs. Yeah, it's gonna. I just hope for the best. We'll see. I haven't had any issues yet. We'll see, but I know people have been dealing with it all year. It's annoying, but
Now, the you and Sam would be the 4-5 most likely. Blake and Larry, though, are fighting out for the 1 seed this week. The only way Kyle can get the 1 seed is if they tie, and there's never been a tie in fantasy basketball history. So Blake and Larry are fighting out for the 1 seed. Is there someone you're rooting? The winner will be the 1 seed, and it will be on you and Sam's side of the bracket. Who are you rooting for this week between Blake and Larry?
It's so close. I've been saying I think he may not be number 1 in scoring, but I think Larry's team is a sleeper. I think his team, there's not one bad player that he starts. Like, they're all good. Every single one of them, when I played them, I was like, this team is really good. Let me take a gander at Blake's team real fast. I'm going to look. I just want to see what he's got. I know Larry's good.
The only thing Blake right now, Blake has won 7 straight games to be where he is right now. So he's been red hot.
He's got the Greek Freak, Levine. Oh, I don't think it's even a question. I know these guys some of them are better than you think they are, but I would take Blake. Yeah, I want him to win.
Real quick, can I get your thoughts on Justin Kiefer's first ever fantasy basketball pick in this league, taking Luka over the Greek Freak back in December?
I don't think it. I mean, Luka Doncic is a good-ass player. He really is.
Oh, yeah. He should have gone 2-3.
Yeah, 100%. But the Greek Freak, man, he does it all. He rebounds. His assists are even up. He gets like 7 assists a game. And he doesn't miss. He's a dunk guy. He doesn't shoot a lot from outside. He will once in a while, but the guy is literally positive every single time he does something. And it just adds up because he plays. He's their best player, and he's really good. I don't hate the move. Luka Doncic is good. He's just not playing as good of him this year. People called him the MVP coming into the season, Luka Doncic. So you can't hate the pick, but if you look at it now, obviously it looks bad. But the Greek Freak's good. I mean, I think in fantasy you have to go big men. Big men are the key to winning it. You need big guys. You need those good guards. You can't forget about guards completely, but you need a good center and forward. You need those guys what help you huge.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I will not be there for the first time ever in the fantasy basketball playoffs. Before we get to my game, we won't talk baseball, even though that's coming up. We'll talk a little bit about football. We got to talk football. First off, thoughts on Jaron winning his first championship?
Good team. I mean, he had a good team. I thought the playoffs, who made it was like Andrew, Paul, and who was the third? Oh, you were in it.
Yeah. Thanks for remembering. But yeah, I was in the finals.
Yeah. I mean, he good. Congratulations. I mean, he's been in the league for a while. Good job, Jared. Nice win. Welcome to the club. I mean, I'm about to give you your jacket. It's your ring. You're now a champion. Congratulations. But I watched that game that you had on Monday night with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if that game didn't happen, which by far, this is the most, like, that game was unreal how bad Pittsburgh Steelers were that game. Like, they hadn't played that bad. I know they were struggling at the end, but that was the worst they had played. All your guys were terrible. Every single one did nothing. I think that was the game that decided the whole matchup.
It was.
Plus
the
Derrick
game.
Henry.
It was the game that decided the whole matchup.
Struggled too.
Yeah, it was the game that decided the whole matchup because I still took a 6-point lead into the second week, but I could have been up 30 or 40 points at the end of that night.
And I think you would have won it if I'm not mistaken. It would have been close. I can't remember.
It would have been close, but 10 years now. I know you weren't a big fan of going to PPR this year, but 10 years of the league. What are your thoughts on this league going forward?
It's a good league. I think everyone is committed to the league. There's not one owner that's like messes around too much. I mean, we had that issue with Taysom Hill, but Jeremy was never gonna do it. It was riling up Justin because Justin was freaking out a little bit. But no, everyone's committed. No one cheats. No one does anything. I mean, it's a nice league. I like the 10 we have. Fletcher's a good ad. He hasn't won a lot, but he's a good ad. He's loyal. Andrew is interesting. There's just a lot of characters in this league that make it really interesting. A lot of smack talks. Smack talk is huge, which is good for a league. It makes it a fun league. Some people might get a little soft from the smack talk, but that's just what it is. That's how it works. But no, I like the brand. I think it is getting big. I think like more people are learning, which is weird. People have heard about our league from other sources. Like I've been up to the bar and be like, "Oh man, I heard about your league. How's it doing?" I'm like, "What? How did you hear about our league?" But I don't know. It's interesting. It's weird. It's also cool. It's very cool. But I think we need to think about getting a trophy and have all the winners on it. That's my thought.
Absolutely.
We need to get a trophy.
And
then we can do something separate, like rings too, like have side rings as well,
or banners.
One trophy and a bunch of rings,
or banners,
or banner. We gotta get that banner from that video. That was cool.
Yeah.
We got.
But as one of the owners to not win a championship in the first decade, me, Justin, and Fletch. Who wins the championship first? Me, Justin, or Fletch?
In any sport or just football?
Football.
That's right. Yeah, because you've won already. I'm gonna go. I hate to do this to Fletcher, but I'm gonna go you. You're gonna win one before Justin and Fletcher. I just think it's gonna happen.
And then who?
Justin is cursed. He cannot seem to get it. He's cursed.
So you're going with Fletcher.
No, I'm going you.
Yeah, and then who?
Oh, Fletcher. Yeah, Justin's not winning one. So, no, I'm sorry, Justin, but you're just not. Maybe prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Go out there and take a championship. Jaron has one now. You can't let him get two on you. It's over, man. It's over. He's not gonna let you hear the end of it.
All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about football when the time comes, but it's come to that time of the show where we play my game. How well do you know your JERRY1 fantasy sports teams? So you're the 15th guest that we've had on this show. And the top scorer is Kyle with 150 points, was the best score. 5 questions from easy or harder on all your JERRY1 franchises. From 10 points, 20 points, 30 points, 40 points, 50 points. Highest score you can win is 150. The lowest score was Q and Justin Kiefer with 55. Matt, are you ready to play?
Yeah, just don't give me any hockey ones.
We will see.
Right. Yeah,
I will come out and say there is no college basketball one.
That's fair.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, don't overthink these early ones. First question. How many football championships do you have?
2.
And that is correct. Yes, you have 2 championships, 2013, and then 5 years later, you got it in 2018. And the only year you lost in the finals is 2011, the first year against Pat. As Pat will remind you that
what a year.
His one championship. But 10 points. Here we go. Next question's for 20. Try to get your score.
He's got his arms around me and Paul.
Yeah. All right. For 20 points, how many playoff berths do you have in fantasy basketball?
Fantasy what?
Yeah, we've been fighting through some technical difficulties for this episode. Can you hear me?
We've been freezing a lot up.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. For 20 points, how many playoff berths do you have in fantasy basketball?
Fantasy basketball.
Yes.
How many total? Can you get how many total seasons it's been?
It has been 5 seasons.
Can you let me know how many seasons?
5 seasons, and we're counting this year.
Okay.
Playoff Burbs basketball. Counting this year, 5 seasons.
Something tells me I've made it every year, but I feel like one time I didn't. It's definitely at least 4. I'm going to go 4. Final answer.
And that is correct. Yes, it is 4. You missed it 1 year.
I think 1 year didn't make it.
Yes, you missed it last year. All right, here we go. Third question. Got a perfect score. Let's double that score. 30 points. Who did you lose to in the 2018 Fantasy Baseball semifinals, the first year of that league?
Who did I lose to in the what year? Sorry, you cut off again.
Yeah. We're fighting through the technical difficulties, but we got it. Who did you lose to in the 2018 Fantasy Baseball semifinals?
The 2018 Fantasy Baseball semifinals.
This is your only playoff game you've ever had in baseball.
Oh. Is it Jack?
Final answer?
Is Larry in our league? He's not in our league, is he?
He is in that league, but was he in that season?
I'm going to go Jack. Final answer.
And that is sadly incorrect. It is not Jack. It is not Jack. Jack was on the other semifinal that year when he beat me. You lost to Sam Shields that year.
No, damn it. Didn't remember that, to be honest with you. I don't lose to Sam much, so.
Yeah. And that was the only time Sam had ever won a JERRY1 Fantasy Baseball playoffs was that year, that run. But here we go. Fourth question for 40 points. Try to get your score up to 70. What fantasy sport did you score the most points in the regular season but did not make the playoffs? You scored the most points in the regular season, but you failed to miss the playoffs. What fantasy sport was that?
It's got to be either football or hockey. And for some reason, I think it was hockey. Because I feel like football, I might not have been the top seed. I feel like hockey, the first year I dominated, didn't make the playoffs. I'm going to go hockey. Final answer.
And that is correct. Yes, it is hockey. The inaugural season of the hockey league. You scored the most.
I remember that first year. I did awesome and didn't make the playoffs.
Didn't make the playoffs. There was only 3 playoff teams that year. It was a weird year. But you're up to 70 points.
Yeah.
All right. Final question. It is a basketball question for 50 points. What is your longest winning streak in fantasy basketball? How many games?
I don't think it's that long. I don't remember winning like 8 in a row or something like that. I'm going to go. What the fuck do I got this year? Schedule. Yeah, no, I was gonna say I'm gonna go 4. That's my answer. I'm gonna go with 4,
It's
but it might be 3. I think
That's
it's 4.
sadly incorrect. And here, I'll give you higher or lower, and you can get half credit. It is higher than 4.
Really? It can't be much more. I don't think I ever won like 7 in a row. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 6.
It's sadly incorrect again. It is actually 7, Matt.
Damn it!
You won.
What year was that?
It was a while ago. Okay, 7 straight games you won in the inaugural season from week 14 to the semifinals, and then the second year, week 9 to week 15, 7 in a row twice.
I do remember that first year where I played Paul. I did get hot. I didn't think it was that many, but I thought
7 in a row, and that was your run.
I should have known one of the years I went to the finals.
That was the run you're talking about. But before I get you out of here, tournament challenge week. What would it mean to go back to back and be another tournament challenge? I mean, yes, Paul has more JERRY1 titles, but if you win a second one of these, that would be 5 JERRY1 champions of something, which would tie Paul. What would it mean to you?
It'd be awesome. No one ever is going to win 2 in a row bracket challenges ever again. You know how hard it is to win a bracket challenge?
Especially when
That'd
more
be
people
awesome.
coming in this year.
It'd be even more better if I could beat Ferris again in the finals. That would be something funny.
Yeah.
I will say though, if Rob ever does watch this, the only reason he didn't win that year was because that Elite 8 game with Kentucky versus Auburn. That was the game that decided the championship. I don't know if people know that, but that was the one game that was decided between me and Rob winning the whole thing.
Yeah, it was. That's what's weird about the tournament challenge. It could be the Elite 8 game that could win you the championship. Somewhere in there.
Yeah. Because you gotta go with the people that have, you gotta compare yourself to the teams that have the same winner. And there's gonna be somebody, unless you do some odd team like Oklahoma wins the whole thing, that no one's gonna have that. But
no. Well, Matt, I wish you the best of luck with your hockey team. Hopefully you make the playoffs. Even though if you don't, I'll probably be in. But I wish you the best of luck in basketball playoffs. I'm not going there. And, wish you the best of luck with that tournament challenge. It's going to be fun. Thanks for coming on. We'll try to get you we'll try to do this in opposite houses next time because the technical difficulties has been a little bit of a problem. But
why did it say I'm Nick Felice?
I don't know, but that won't pop up when I record this. But I appreciate you coming on, Matt, and I wish you the best of luck down the road.
See you later.
It was good to have Matt on. Good to have him on the podcast for the first time. And I wish the best of luck for his teams and his bracket going forward. But let's talk about hockey and basketball. But first, let's talk about hockey. And this is the final week of the regular season. How about Nate ending that 3-game losing streak, his worst of his career in this league? And he gets the big win over me, and he clinches his 4th straight playoff berth in 4 years. Josh and Matt, with the losses because of me and Q, turned into a clinching game, and Josh pulled out another minor 2-point comeback win on Sunday to beat Matt. He's always had the upper hand in the standings on Matt in this league, and Matt once again another blown opportunity to clinch a playoff berth in fantasy hockey. But Josh is back in 3rd playoff berth in 5 years, or 3rd playoff berth in 4 years. His 5th playoff berth overall in JERRY1 Fantasy Sports. So hockey's been kind of Josh's sport. I don't know if he knows a lot about fantasy hockey, but he's making the playoffs a lot in this league. And still looking for that first playoff win, though. You can make the playoffs, but can you get a big win in the playoffs? Right now, he's in that playing game. Who's he going to play? It's either going to be me, even though Matt's still got a shot at the bye. He's still got somewhat of a shot, not really. Me and Q also have a shot at the playoffs, so Q needs more than I do. All I need is a Matt lost and I win and I'm in. Q needs me to lose and Matt to lose, and then he's in. So Q needs a little bit more, but 0-5 I'm right there. We'll see how you do. But Justin Kiefer beating Paul. How are we not talking about that to start off the hockey talk? But 1-point victory on Sunday to stun Paul. Paul had won 6 in a row after an 0-2 start, but now Paul looking like he's going to get a bye. Hasn't officially clinched it yet. Justin already clinched a bye, and now Justin's already clinched his first regular season championship of his JERRY1 Fantasy Sports career. So hats off to Justin. Congratulations, Justin, so far, but the end goal is still there, and that's to win a championship. But great season so far. 8-1, looking to go 9-1 the shortened 10-week regular season. Pretty impressive stuff. We'll see if he goes 9-1 when he plays Matt, who's fighting for a playoff berth for the first time in this league in week 10. So Nate's in, Paul's in, Justin Kiefer's in, Josh is in, Matt not in. Who gets that final playoff spot? Who gets those last 2 buys? Nate's looking good, and Paul's looking good at those buys. But Josh got an outside chance, so we'll see what he does. Something he's playing in that playing game. We will see, but that's week 10 of fantasy hockey. Final week of the regular season is here. We'll see if Matt gets in. Looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting stuff. That's fantasy hockey. Now let's move on to fantasy basketball. Throw it up there. And, so nothing's really changed at the top. Still Larry, Blake, Kyle. They all control their destiny for a bye this week. Final week of the regular season. Huge game. Probably the biggest game in JERRY1 history between Larry and Blake. I don't know who's going to win this. This is a finals preview. One thing we do know, those are your top 3 seeds. Don't know who's going to get the buys yet. No one's clinched the bye. No one's clinched the regular season championship. No one's clinched the regular season runner-up. None of that's clinched, but it's those 3 teams. Those 3 teams have been the top teams all season long. And we'll see how it plays out. Kyle controls his own destiny against me this week. And they control their own destiny to buy. This Larry Blake matchup is for the regular season championship. The only way Kyle can get the regular season championship 1 seed is if he wins and they tie. There's never been a tie in JERRY1 Fantasy Basketball. And I don't expect it to be this week either. So Kyle, he'll take a bye. He won't be too upset not getting the 1 seed, but we'll see what plays out here. Blake's been hot, but so Larry's been hot. I don't know how this one's going to play out. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick a winner. I think Blake gets it done. I think Blake he's won 7 games in a row. I can't go wrong. I'm sorry, Larry. I think you're going to follow the 3 seed, and you might get a game stuck against Paul in that first round. And that's, Larry, he needs a 1 seed. Imagine that. He's a 1 seed, and he goes all the way down. He has to win 3 games to win a championship, and he has to face Paul, who's been hot of late in the first round. That would just suck. But there's like a 99% chance that Sam and Matt are going to meet in the first round. Both of them clinch playoff berth. Sam 6 for 6 in his JERRY1 Fantasy Sports career, making the playoffs, 3 in baseball, and now 3 in basketball. Matt back in the playoffs in basketball ever since he lost to me in the finals a couple seasons ago. The last time we played a finals in this league. Matt's back looking for that first championship after 2 runner-ups. They're in. They're pretty much locked in as the 4 and 5. Matt the 4, Sam the 5, because Matt beats this. But the 6 right now is Paul. Paul got the win. Justin loses to Kurt. That's a huge setback. But Kurt needs a miracle. He's still alive, even though he's technically the 7th seed right now. For the 7th place team. But Kurt needs a miracle. He needs to win. He needs Justin to lose. He needs Paul to lose. And he needs to catch Paul in points and Justin. Or no. Yes. No, he needs a 3-way tiebreaker. That's right. Kurt needs a 3-way tiebreaker because he doesn't have the head-to-head over Paul. So he needs Justin to win. He needs Justin to win. He needs to win, and Paul needs to lose, and he needs to catch both of them in points. Yeah, that's a miracle for Kurt there. We'll see how he does. Justin, though, has got that head over Paul. That's why he was in the playoffs for so long, for a few weeks here now over Paul. Kurt loses, Justin wins, and then Paul loses, it's Justin's spot, and he's got a matchup against whoever doesn't fall out of that three-headed monster between Larry, Blake, and Kyle in that first round. So it's gonna be interesting. It sucks Paul can't really move up, but he'll take a playoff spot. No doubt about that. He's got a shot at the championship. We'll see how that plays out. Justin Kiefer, newbie, 3-game losing streak finally ends him officially. I was technically officially eliminated at the start of this week 11. So yeah. Math not right there, but I was gone. I'm officially gone now. And Justin Kiefer is officially gone in his first year. So, and of course, there's Josh and Jack. Do you guys know you're still playing? Well, Josh definitely knows. He's been playing pretty well. He gave Paul a run for his money. Unlucky week in week 11, but Jack, don't know if Jack knows this. But it's going to be exciting stuff. We got a race for the buys, race for the last playoff spot. 1 spot left. Should be exciting stuff. So week 12 of the final week of the regular season is here in fantasy basketball. And that's it for fantasy basketball and hockey talk. That's it for the college basketball tournament challenge talk, ESPN. That's it for this podcast. I do have a birthday shout out this week. Birthday shout out on Thursday, March 18th. Happy birthday, Jaron Johnson, your 2021 JERRY1 Fantasy Football Champion. Happy birthday, Jaron. Hope's all well at Marquette, trying to become a lawyer. So, he knows his fantasy football stuff, that's for sure. And maybe his fantasy college basketball stuff. He is in the tournament challenge. He's been in the college basketball league. We'll see how Jaron does in the tournament. But happy birthday, Jaron. I hope all is well. And St. Patrick's Day this week on Wednesday, right before Jaron's birthday. So enjoy that. I guess drink responsibly. I don't really do that, but drink a lot, and live it up. St. Patrick's Day. And that's it for this podcast. This is episode number 23, is in the books. JERRY1 Podcast. I want to thank Matt for coming on, saying a few words about his teams. Wish you the best of luck in fantasy hockey, basketball, and the ESPN Tournament Challenge. But that's it. I've been Nick Felice. Set your lineup, and we'll see you on the next JERRY1 Fantasy Sports Podcast. Bye.